Housing is one of the big issues confronting Australian cities, and the affordability of that housing is one of the most pressing problems we face. So one of the problems about affordability of housing is the size, and the other one is the location. So we need to get the balance right. We don't want to build houses that are too big, and we don't want to build them in the wrong kind of place. In Australia, we've been building some of the biggest new housing in the world for a few years now, and that's unfortunate. So I think we need to reduce the size of our housing, design it better, look at new construction techniques and new building materials. And those are things that we're doing research on throughout the Cities Research Institute.
My research investigated the potential of the tiny house movement to address aspects of housing affordability and sustainability, particularly in our cities, which is where both of those issues are of particular importance. Tiny houses are one way that can be a sensitive way of increasing urban infill, particularly in suburbs where there's mostly just detached houses and large lots. So I did a survey of people on the tiny house movement, and I had some really great results. One of the really interesting things I found was that significant interest in the tiny house movement came from older single women over 55, and that's a demographic that's at serious risk for homelessness in Australia. So you could build a tiny house in your backyard and rent it out to someone, or else you could rent out your backyard to someone's tiny house on wheels. So it's only ever going to be a niche market. It's not suitable for families, but is a really good way of just increasing the diversity of the housing stock in the urban area and increasing density without necessarily putting a great big high-rise next to your property.
Our SBENRC research is looking at social and affordable housing in conjunction with our industry and research partners. In developing this research, we built a productivity-based conceptual framework. This framework has 4 elements. The first element is the benefits to tenants, the second to the macroeconomy and the Australian government, the third the fiscal benefits and returns to society, and then the fourth is based around social and environmental capital. Our SBENRC research is very much based in industry outcomes. So working with industry and research partners, we've developed 3 research projects since 2014. The first being Rethinking Social Housing, the second Valuing Social Housing, and our current project, which is Procuring Social and Affordable Housing. An important part of our research is our industry links, with pilot projects now being undertaken by the Western Australian Government in transitional and social housing, and some of our earlier frameworks being used in Victoria and Queensland in the development of community housing provider frameworks.